in this video. Hello everybody, and welcome to the second geometry lesson on the channel, where of course we will be covering geometry. The algebra series is over. And one big favor before we go on to our answers to our previous questions, please make sure to like and subscribe and turn on that notification bell. I know YouTube does a good algorithm and it's good for seeing what you should watch, but just to make sure you never miss an update, make sure you like and subscribe and turn on that notification bell. Without further ado, let's move on to our answers to our previous question. For our first question, the answer to that question was plane. For our second question, the answer was point. And for our third question, the answer was ray. Let's move on to the lesson. Today, we are learning about angles, which is one of the main factors in geometry, and these are going to be the basics of angles. So, first, I'd like to talk about the units. You can either use degrees or radians. A full circle is 360 degrees or 2 pi radians. That is essentially what it is. For today, we're going to be using degrees, but in the future, we will also start to incorporate radians, and in a more advanced level of math, radians is actually what would be preferred, as there's more concepts which can use radians, and it's much easier to apply. But degrees is slightly simpler to understand. And pi, I'm talking about that one constant, 3.141, and so on. You probably must have heard of it. And if you didn't, well, you know it now. Over here, we have a couple angles. Let's start from this one, the first one. Now, as you see, these are two line segments, and it could be rays, but I just drew line segments for this one. What this does is just for saying, okay, so this is the angle over here, the one where I have this line. It shows everywhere, and that's what we want to measure. This is called the right angle, or it is exactly 90 degrees. Alright, for our second one, this is called an acute angle, this one. And this is from 0 to 90 degrees. And for our third one, we have 90 degrees to 180 degrees. Not the temperature unit, the angle measurement unit, degrees. So that's the obtuse angle, and that's called an obtuse angle. The fourth one, or this one, I'm putting some check marks around it, or V's. This is called the straight angle. And this is a complete 180 degrees angle. It's exactly 180 degrees angle, and it's normally represented by a semicircle, even though mine does not look like a semicircle. For this one, on the bottom middle, so the one I'm putting some check marks by, this one is is greater than 180 degrees, but less than 360 degrees. And it's called a reflex angle. And our final angle is called a full turn, or it's 0 degrees or 360 degrees. It's the same thing. Every 360 degrees, it resets. It's a full turn, and it would be represented by a circle or the line. And that's essentially it for the lesson. For today, we have 3 examples, and all 3 of them are in order to identify, as it shows right there. Our first one is this is the figure, and we want to identify which type of angle this is. Now, since this is identify, this is essentially a memory-based question. And since this is a memory-based question, it is acute, if you remember, because as you can see, this is the 90-degree one. So this would be less than 90 degrees as the lines are closer together. So this is an acute angle. For our second example, what we have is this big angle, and it says, alright, so it looks like instead of a straight line, we have all the way down here, which is extra, but it's not a full turn around. So if you remember, this should be a reflex angle. R-E-F-L-E-X. Reflex. For our third and final one, by memory, you should know this is a straight angle. Straight. Let's go on to the examples. Sorry, the practice problems. Whoops. for today, we have 3 practice problems. And of course, they're the identify one as shown over here. So, the first one, we have this figure. The second one, we have the figure in the middle. And the third one, we have the figure on the bottom. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.